Hey everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the 4 series podcast with Helen, the Global Wanderluster. Helen Culqui from Peru, in her last podcast with us, spoke about how she became a Global Wanderluster and why she enjoys globetrotting. And we continue the discussion today and discuss topics such as low budget traveling and tips and tricks and resources for planning your travels well in advance. And we hear a lot more from Helen's work experience as a tour guide operator. And in the end, we discuss the biggest challenges she faced as a person and the different ways she used to overcome those challenges. I hope you enjoy this podcast, and here it goes. Mention some Peruvian delicacies to me.
Well, we have our national cocktail, which is the pisco sour.
Pisco sour, what's the spelling?
Okay, pisco is P for Peter,
Okay.
I for Italy,
Mm-hmm.
S for Sam,
Mm-hmm.
C for Charlie,
Mm-hmm.
O for Oscar,
Pisco.
pisco, and the other word is sour. S for Sam,
Mm-hmm.
O for Oscar,
Mm-hmm.
U for Union,
Mm-hmm.
R for Robert.
Oh, okay. Piscosour. Pisco sour.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
This is
your.
our
So you have a national cocktail.
Yes.
How cool is that? What did they put in it?
Yes, they put the pisco, which is like white rum.
Okay.
Yes. Also, egg white,
Okay.
lemon juice,
Mm-hmm.
and syrup.
Okay. Sugar syrup.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we can make it at home.
Yes, we can make it at home. You make all of them in a cocktail shaker,
Okay.
like a bartender,
Okay.
and then you serve on a glass.
So do you have it with ice or without ice?
You put ice. Yes.
You put ice. Okay. Interesting.
Yes, I have. I have one photo on my Instagram account.
Oh, okay.
Of the pisco.
Okay. Okay. I'll click a picture of that and add it to my show notes so people can see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So, getting back to why you encourage people to travel, like you were telling me, when people face problems, one idea could be that they go and travel to heal and see the world.
See the world. Yes.
See the world. Okay. Does traveling help in healing too?
Yes, if you it heals you if you are determined to take a different twist to your life.
Very well said.
It's up to you.
Yes, it's up to you. So,
If
but
you want
do
to
you
do
think
something
do you
different.
think do you think it helps?
It helps.
And let's
And
say
also
let's say it helps.
And also,
In what ways would it help?
in what ways would it help? It helps to be motivated to make different things in your life, things that you love the most.
Right. And what were you saying before that?
What is it helps. It helps when it comes to a point that you want to change part of your life.
Right. It helps.
Your determination is important. Yes. To make decisions.
Right. Understood. And what about Helen? What do you suggest to people who feel or who have the mindset that traveling is very expensive and it can be done only on a vacation? Because you have mentioned to me that you should travel no matter what is going on in your life. So that would involve circumstances when you aren't financially that well off, or you have these dream destinations that you want to go to, but you have not saved up so much to reach that place then. So what would you suggest, or how would you inspire these listeners to look, or what perspective would you give them about traveling so that they too can think of traveling no matter what is going on in their life, considering the financial circumstances and the expenses of travel?
Well, during my travel agent experience, I faced with potential customers who after having read the brochures, they said that traveling was expensive, that was for rich people. However, I mentioned that they were right, that generally people with a certain status in life could afford the expensive travels.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is always another option for them to take to take their travels in a low budget.
Right.
For example, to purchase flight tickets in months in advance.
Right.
Which are cheap for them.
Right.
And also there are accommodations, flights, bus transportations in affordable prices.
Right.
That's what I do whenever I travel around the world, to find low budget options.
Understood.
And in my website I have the resources section where the audience can, when the followers can see, start planning their travels in affordable prices.
Okay. So you have resources in your website.
Yes.
Okay. And for the people who aren't able to even afford that much, low budget, what would you suggest to them? How would you suggest to them to start saving? Or would you tell them, like, something I would tell them if I was in your position would be travel to the places you can around your vicinity. At least explore, start with that. Something of that nature, what would you say?
Yes, to start planning their trips somewhere to places where they can afford, according to their budget. And people also, they start raising money from their jobs. Also I saw that, for example, some people started raising money doing some activities such as raffles, selling their stuff months prior to their trips.
Okay. Selling waffles.
And also to check.
They were selling waffles.
Raffles.
Okay, raffles. Those tickets.
Raffles, yes, tickets, yes.
Okay.
Tickets, and some of them I saw that they sell their cars, their apartments in order to travel.
Okay. So if you have the determination.
And also
Also they?
Yes. Also I saw that some people go to the banks to ask for loans.
Oh. So what I can hear and what you're suggesting is, if you have the determination and the will to travel to some place, it is possible.
Yes, it's possible, and they have to plan in advance.
Right.
Where they want to go, to see the budget.
Right.
And during that time, if you have clear the destination you want to go, you have to check the flight tickets, because that's in those moments that you have to see them where flight tickets are cheap.
Right.
And also they have to see if they need any visa requests, vaccinations.
Right. So it's all about generating the will to travel. And you are telling me that it is life changing, and you get to see the world and you get a taste of all the different cultures that are there in this globe of ours.
Yes.
Very nice. Now, Helen, like I told you before, one of the questions I ask all my guests are, name one challenge that you faced in your life, one, or if a series of challenges you faced in your life that you found very difficult to overcome, and something you learned from that.
What challenge I faced? Let's say about some of my family members' opinion.
Okay.
Misconceptions about what a person has to do in life.
Okay.
For some people, having a decent job as a professional with great diplomas and good money.
Right.
It's better than being a globetrotter.
Right.
Better than traveling.
Right.
It's about to do what you love the most.
Right. And
help people.
Yeah. And that's why I'm interviewing people like you, because you have, with everything said and done, with all the challenges you face, you have managed to stick to something you love to do.
Yes.
And I told you, this is the mission, to talk about living the life you love to live, and you're doing that. So it's a pleasure to talk to you once again.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And how did you overcome it? How did you get over that challenge? Do you still face it? And how do you deal with it?
Well, I just listen, but I do not pay much attention.
Okay.
I do not pay much attention. I focus on the positive side. I read some books, for example, The Secret.
Oh, yes.
And also I listen to podcasts. I read more books.
That's really nice.
Podcasts like Tim Ferriss.
Right.
I follow also Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yes, me too. My stories are full of Gary Vaynerchuk, and I recently saw his last show, Ask Gary V show, with Tom Bilyeu. Have you seen that one? Very inspiring, right?
I saw the
Very
video.
Inspiring. When that particular conversation, when he's talking to this kid who's in a luxury car business, and Tom Bilyeu is giving him advice.
Yes.
It's very inspiring. I'm telling the audience, like, you can check out Gary Vaynerchuk, and I haven't heard much of Tim Ferriss, but yeah, you're giving us and the listeners very good suggestions on how you overcome your challenges. You plug in, like Gary says, plug in positivity in your ears.
Yes.
And you read books.
Yes, and I read books. Right. I read The Secret. I follow The Secret on social media.
And do you journal? Do you journal?
Sorry?
Journaling, writing down your thoughts.
Occasionally, I write down some quotes that I see I read on books.
Okay. Awesome. So that was the question. That was a challenge, and how she deals with her challenge. Very well said. And in the end, I'd like to tell my listeners a little bit about Peru. Yes, that was another interesting episode with Helen. And a point to note is that she's a very, very courageous woman. To face opinions of your family members who are supposed to be your closest ones and the ones who love you the most, and to go against their traditional opinions to do something you truly love and are passionate about is a very, very tough task, because you don't want to disappoint your immediate family members, and yet Helen did it, and I'm very proud of her, and I'm very supportive of her too. So a small thing you could do to support her is visit her website, which is globalwanderluster.com, spelled GLOBALWANDERLUSTER.com. You'll see her blogs there about the various places she's traveled. She's gone to South Africa. She's gone to more than 80 countries, so I can't name them all now. Also, you can find her on Instagram at @globalwanderluster.com. You can find me on Instagram at @yourlocalpodcaster, your_local_podcaster. So if you have any further questions for Helen or for me, you can reach us, you can contact us via Instagram. So, yeah. And by the way, the next episode is a really special episode about Peru and the culture, the history, the lifestyle, and the myths, and so many other things about Peru, like the top places to visit. She deeps dive into Peru, and that's going to be a Patreon only special episode. So you're going to find it on my Patreon page, which is patreon.com/your_local_podcaster. So it'll be available for exclusive members. By signing up for my Patreon page, you become a patron for me, and you support this podcast, and I give you bonus content. So that's the deal over there, and I'm sure that's going to be a really nice podcast which you wouldn't want to miss. So head over to my Patreon page and access all that content. Other than that, if you want to meet more people like Helen, if you want to know where I find them on this place called Wired Creatives. So that's where I learned how to set up a website and how to blog, and that's where a lot of people who are travel bloggers are learning how to blog. And there's a whole community of bloggers who are supporting each other, and it was started by these two people named Hannah and Nate, sorry. Hannah and Nate. So they started Wired Creatives. They started the community, and I'm a member of that. And I have an affiliate link in my show notes for that community in case you're interested in becoming a blogger, or you want to learn how to start a website from scratch. You want to learn all these nitty-gritties, and you want to be in touch with such amazing people from around the world, so that you are fueled and inspired to keep working towards doing something that you love. I hope to catch you on the next podcast. I may release part 3 sometime in the future, maybe make it available for public after a few months or so. But for now, it's going to be a Patreon, a patrons only special, like only for the patrons section. People who pledge to support me or donate some money towards this mission, they're going to get this content. So I'm really glad if you head over there and support me. But till then, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Part 4 will be another surprising podcast. I hope you stay tuned for that, and I will meet you again next time.